Hey guys, how's it going? Anyway, I have this position right here. I ran into this position yesterday while playing some puzzles on YouTube, trying to solve some chess puzzles. And the odd thing is, I actually remembered this position. I actually had this similar position, very probably the same, maybe even very similar to this. I mean, many years ago, like 16, 17 years ago, when I used to play chess. And I had the white pieces, and I was just happy to get a draw here as white. Uh, Normally, when you have a rook versus the pawn, the king and the rook are going to work together. They're going to pick up the pawn, and they're going to deliver checkmate. Now here, though, the problem that black has is twofold. One of them, the king's too far. He just can't support here, and also this pawn right here is getting really close to promoting. So those are the two problems black faces. So here, I mean, how do we proceed here? Well, first of all, white was next to move, so white placed this move right here, pushes the pawn. So he's getting really close to promoting. Obviously, can't go there to block that or whatever. He's just going to capture right there, get a queen. So what can black do? So he can't come neither to pick up that pawn either. He can't go there neither. So, but the idea is to try to get behind this pawn. But I mean, going down here is just too slow. He he drops down here. That's already one move. And white's just going to push. Get a queen. Going this route is too slow. So that's not going to work either. So here, and like I said, this is for centuries, this was considered to be a draw until a Spanish priest named Francisco Saavedra actually found an ingenious way win for white. And I mean, I had this position and I got a draw out of it, and I was just content with that. The most that black can hope for here is a draw, actually. Black can't do more than be lucky to get a draw here. But anyway, let's see how he proceeds here. So the pawn was pushed. So black has to, he delivers check here. So let's look at white's options. There, that square, that square, that square, and that square, right? So let's take a look at all squares. So here, let's take a look at the obvious blunder here. This is the blunder right here. Going there, it's a complete blunder. The rook just gets behind the pawn, and now the king cannot get back to the pawn to help out. King goes there, rook takes, it's over. Checkmate. Coming. So that's a total blunder. Moving there, same thing. Goes there. This not necessarily doesn't lose for white, but it's going to be a draw now. Black is going to get what he wants. He wants a draw. So I mean, if king goes there or whatever, then black just takes. King just takes. It's a draw. Now, if you're thinking, well, why can't he just push? Well, he can't push. It's pinned. That pawn is pinned. Okay, you can't put yourself in check. So that move is not going to work. And obviously, going there leads to the same thing. You pin the piece right there. Can't promote. He's going to go there. So right? Doesn't matter where white moves. Once black goes there, doesn't matter where white moves. He's just going to capture the pawn. And again, it leads to a draw. So obviously we talked about this square right now. That's just total blunder. That loses completely for white. So here the only possible valid moves for or legal moves for white would be that square and that square. So let's take a look at this square first. What if he goes there? Well, black has this nice, clever little trick. Boom, just drop the rook down. Now if he promotes and gets a queen, boom, delivers check, and actually black is going to win. So no, that is not the square. Now, if white would have made the mistake of actually coming to this square, which is a mistake, and this guy drops down, then white better go there. At least he won't lose the game anymore, because now the rook just gets behind the pawn. And I mean, if he promotes, he doesn't want to promote. The rook will just take that, so the king just moves there, and black again. Draw. Okay? So anyway, so this square's not it. So the actual thing that leads to a win for white here is this move, b5. And it's a shocking move. It's like, what? When I saw that, I was like, why is it a shocking move? Well, normally you want to keep your king close to your pawns, right? But this one, this king's moving away from the pawn. I mean, you want to keep the king close to the pawns to promote. So he moves down. Same thing. Come in this way and then come in this way. It's too slow. That takes two moves. White's going to promote. So he's threatening a promotion right there. So then black delivers another check. If he moves up, moves back up, another check, repeats the position. So that's not the move there. Coming there leads to the same thing as previously. You go there. And now if he promotes, black delivers check and they pick up the queen and actually win the game. So that's not the move. He goes down from the b file. Again, moving further away from the pawn. He comes down to b file to b6 now. So then can't go there neither. Can't go up the rook to try to pick up the pawn. So can't can try to go down, but then if he goes down, white promotes. Same concept. So he delivers another check. Same thing. He cannot go there. He'll just come down and so forth. Same. So comes down to b file again, even further away from the pawn. So then black delivers another check. Black idea is to try to get behind that pawn, and boom, that's when the white king comes in there. So now the black rook has run out of board. He can no longer come there to try to come around here. He can't deliver check there because the king is there. If he drops down, he's just going to eat it. So here, that's the reason why black kept marching downward to try to cut off the rook. So then but it's the rook still has an ingenious idea here. The rook goes to d4. And like I said, for centuries this was believed to be a draw. It was an ingenious move by the rook. It's sneaky. So white promotes anyway. Get this queen, right? What do we want when you promote? Everybody wants that powerful queen. Boom, the most powerful piece on the board. So let's go get that queen. Watch this. Now black springs this trap. Boom, check. What does that do? Well, obviously the king can't get out of the way because then the rook will just take the queen. Black wins. So this is forced. Queen has to take the rook. But notice what that does. That square is attacked by the queen. The king's got that square. The king got that square. So there's nowhere for black to move. This is called a stalemate. It's a draw. Black still gets his draw. So, like I said, this was considered a draw until that Spanish priest Saavedra came around. So what this guy did is like, you know what? I'm going to promote. But instead of getting a queen, most of you probably already know this. Some of you might not know this, though. You don't have to get a queen. You can always under promote to any piece that you want. White gets a rook. How does that change the dynamic of the game? It changes it considerably. Check this out. So now this trick doesn't work anymore. Check doesn't work anymore because white simply just captures the rook here. And this square is not under attack anymore. It's a rook. Rooks can't go on the diagonal. So black does have its flight square, so it's not a stalemate. And now that's his only legal move. The rook delivers checkmate. So by under promoting to a rook, black doesn't have that sneaky little trick that he tried earlier. So, black doesn't have to do that. But keep also in mind here, check this out. White is threatening checkmate in one move because these squares are covered by the rook. So it's threatening checkmate by in one move. So the only thing maybe black can do is, oops. The only thing that black can probably do is just come here to try to block that from rook from checking. But then the king goes there. Boom. This finishes the game. Why? Well, he's attacking the rook. And he opened the file, boom, to deliver checkmate there. These squares are covered by the king. Black king can't go there, and it delivers checkmate right here. So black can't cover both attacks, both threats. He's threatening the rook, and he's threatening checkmate there. So it doesn't really matter what black does in this position. I don't know. Let's suppose he moves away or whatever. Then it just delivers checkmate. So anyway, I thought this was an amazing ending, and I actually had this position, like I said, like 15, 16 years ago, and some of those, I can't believe I remembered that until I saw that puzzle. But some of the most memorable games that you have, so either a crushing loss or a brilliant move you made, those are the games you actually remember. So I thought this was awesome. I was like, wow. So anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. But there was a white there, a win for white, and this is called the Saavedra position after Francisco Saavedra, the Spanish priest that discovered this. But anyway, I thought this was awesome, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and hopefully you guys would enjoy it. Maybe I'll start making some more chess videos. I don't know.